White girl, little girl, bad bitch with the curves. Come into my world, Damala slutty bitch. She suck on this pussy, beefcake all in me. Neat bitch, you drunk. Your pussy smell like funk. Ho, why is you here? Bitch, you better act like you know. Don't touch on my fur. You're a thrifty bitch or slutty bitch. I'm that girl, I get paid. You're a crummy bitch. Hey, babe. You better lay low. We having a stand contest, ho? Don't cha-cha, she's a hoe. Welcome to Vegas. Go, girl.
What is going on, entertainers? So time come to y'all with another recap. We talking Justice Cabaret. Before I get started, you already know to do hype of the video. Let me know what y'all think down below. So the episode starts off with, you could tell the editor was so heavy this episode because there was a lot of like what I call dead ends. It was a lot of like empty space, which means like you just see a lot of people standing around sometimes just looking around. Like I feel like they use those clips to kind of get in between so we weren't exposed to the taser of it all. Because how did Jocelyn all of a sudden end up backstage sitting down, drinking water with Ballistic and Melissa on her side as if she has bodyguards? Y'all get what I'm saying? I gotta pay attention. So Love ends up fighting Sapphire Moon. Let me tell you something. That Drea, she was incognito, bitch. That was not Drea. That was Sapphire Moon. Okay? She had her hoodie on in disguise, which by the way, like, I don't think that hoodie was the smartest choice. Like, you were better off with like a big ski mask. Cause that hoodie worked against Drea. Like that hoodie was the op that formed against Drea. Chinks ends up getting into it with Oceans. Oceans ends up losing. I don't know why she did that, but that second round, Oceans took that W. I will say that Oceans was taking a W here and there. Like even with Sky, she took a W with Sky, which kind of shocked me. I was like, oh, okay. You see Oceans go backstage. She's like, yeah, Joseline, yeah, I got it. I tried to sneak Lexi, and then I did like this, and then I was like, yeah, I got jumped, but I got in there. I got in there. Ballistic is looking at her like, good, my child. They all looking at her like she's another, the child that listen and obey her commands. Which to me, it's like Jocelyn being backstage kind of ruined the reunion because we didn't get her reaction or a lot of her commentary like we did last season. Like last season's reunion was one of the best reunions like ever. They ended up bringing a couple girls more out there. Gypsy was there. She had, I think, her Puerto Rican flag or something like that on the back of her. They start asking her about the whole situation with Erica Mena, right? And she was basically like, oh, yeah, you talk about my child, I'm going to get you, right? And then Danny calls her out because she said, oh, on the internet, you call me a pot of donut head, right? And she like, no, I never said you did drugs. I called you a pot of donut head. Gypsy, please. That don't even make any sense. I like you, Gypsy. Okay, but if you call somebody a pot of donut head, that means they do drugs. They're doing powder. They're doing crack. You can't say, oh my God, you're a pot of donut head. Say, oh, you don't do drugs though. No. They are an addict. That's what it is. Don't be trying to sugarcoat it. Like you say you called her what you called her. And I didn't know she called her that because of just random, like a random fight. In my opinion, I thought she called her that because Danny, I think, was encouraging the whole them getting on her. But from what Danny is saying, she was trying to stop them from hitting on her. So why would you call her that? Like, I don't think that was okay. Like, you call her that for kind of like no reason, and you expected her not to get mad about it. Because I dare somebody say I do potted donuts. Like, never been that. The only thing that's been up this nose is a freaking whatchamacallit? What's that thing called? A COVID test, okay? Where you pick out your ears. I forgot what it's called. But yeah, when you pick out your ears, that's the only thing that's been up this nose. So I would have been pissed too, like Danny. Like, what the heck? Y'all know how Danny do. The problem with Danny though is the way she act, you would thought she do powder donuts because she act crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like she act wild all over the place. So you gonna assume that she automatically do drugs. But y'all, I talked to Danny outside of this show stuff. She's not like that. Like, I don't know. I don't know if it's because the cameras turn up and like, but really she is kind of wacky. but she extra wacky on the show. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like to the upteenth level, top tier level of wacky and kooky, like Jackie Christie level when she gets on camera. So it's not like it's an act. It's just personified even more when she gets on camera. Like that whole speech was crazy. She like, you bitches are abusive. You guys are abusive. Your friend. She like, who? Your friend Egypt. It was so funny. The moment she said Egypt, T-Lo said, who? Wait, Egypt. That girl got up so quick. I'm like, T-Lo, sit down, girl. You ain't finna do that thing. She like, your friend is abusive. Yeah, she stole, and that's why she got her ass whooped. Yeah. I do like the fact that Danny clocked Egypt's tea because you didn't want to fight Tasiki, and I don't want to hear nothing about that probation. I'm so sick of that excuse because it was a film show. Y'all was out here in the streets, and I could guarantee you, if Tasiki fought you, she would not be pressing no damn charges. Because I don't think it would have went the way you thought it would have went. No shade. I don't think Egypt could take Tasiki. I used to think that, but not anymore. I ain't gonna lie. You feel me? So yeah. Please, talking about she was on probation. Man, that's such like the biggest excuse. Like y'all was up, in a corner store somewhere. Y'all was on a film show, around like that. The type of show y'all was filming is centered around fighting. As if y'all didn't sign contracts. Girl, bye. Like, I'm glad Danny called her out about that. But them type of speeches is what makes people think Danny's on pot of donuts because of the way she be screaming and acting. Next thing you know, we get to Sky and this contract. This contract is causing more controversy than Diddy contract with Diddy Dirty Money and Diddy contract with all of his band members he ever had in his life. This contract is becoming such a big of a do, right? So they played this voice message of this friend of Sky's, which I don't feel like they ever done this at Zeus before, where they play a voice note and voice recorded of somebody talking crap about a friend. I said, damn, this is why I have bad trust issues. Because the situations like this, you think you could trust the bitch to vent. You think you could trust the bitch to tell your issues, and they turn right back around as soon as you fall out and expose all of your tea. This is why I don't vent to nobody no more. I'm sorry. When something wrong with me, don't ask me what's wrong. Don't say, oh, nah, babe, I'm good. I'm going to talk to God and my siblings. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Because the moment you vent, the girlies use it right against your ass at your lowest point. And this is a prime example. Okay. They played a voice. So she's talking about, how she wanted to be buy out her contract. This lawyer was trying to finesse her for $500. She was like, she might as well have paid for a lawyer straight up. So she feels like, why the hell am I paying for a lawyer? Like paying for this side lawyer, whatever, if I could just pay for a lawyer straight up, whatever. But she basically wanted to get out her contract, which this is why, Sky, you got to read what you signed. You shouldn't have signed a contract before you had got up in it. Hello. Let's be real. I just don't think that was smart on her end. It was kind of dumb. And this is why you even had a couple of days to read it. So why didn't you have and find a lawyer a little bit earlier? So that way you wouldn't end up in a situation like this. Because you said at the reunion, T-Love said at the reunion that y'all was given a contract for a few days. Y'all had it for a few days. Y'all didn't have it like the day of. Next thing you know, Drea fly over like a flying monkey. She start fighting Sky. She start boop bop 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 bop. She fighting Sky. She fighting Sky. She literally did a flip to the floor. That damn Sky put BT at the whole reunion. I couldn't believe it. She fought with so much anger. You would have thought they said, "Hey, if you want to get out of that contract, you got to fight for your life at this reunion." Because that's how she was fighting, bitch. She was fighting her way out that contract like she was beating them hoes up. It was so crazy. She whack-a-mole these hoes. Danny ends up getting jumped. Why would she hop on T-Love knowing ISIS in them right next to her is crazy. I want to call somebody out. Neek, why did you hop out like that and then act like you want to fight? Neek said she backed out and then she was like, I'm like, man, Neek, sit your ass down. You did not want to even get in there with the girls, which I don't even care if she had got in there because it's not her fight. Also, you know what I found funny? There's a part at the reunion. Dre goes to the audience. She says, it's little stuff like that be having me keying. Because what was that? Like, she went to the audience. She was like she was laughing at the fact that she just got her ass whipped. Like, that was funny to me. These girls is crazy. So Sky ends up fighting freaking Oceans. Oceans ends up losing the first round, but that second round, Sky tried to flip Oceans over. I don't know why, but in the midst of trying to flip Oceans over, I don't know why you thought Oceans was lightweight, because that's a thick bitch. You know what I'm saying? That's a thick little white girl. That thick little white girl, you can't put her on her back, because that thick little white girl just started. She started bop, 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 bop. Whole time Jocelyn's in the back looking like Stewie. Jocelyn looked like Stewie to me this reunion. She was just like, she backstage at the reunion. She just watching. She watching everything go down and just peeping the scene. And everybody asking, where Egypt? Where Egypt? Y'all playing where Egypt? Egypt was escorted backstage. Go to my spoiler video. I told y'all I don't delete any videos. The moment Jocelyn got on stage before she left, she told, oh, that Egypt bitch, she gotta go. She gotta get off the stage. And they escorted her off. She boop boop was out of there. Okay. So after everything calmed down, they start asking Sky, like, how do we have this audio? Like, what friend of yours decided to snitch on you and that don't like you? Okay, that bitch not your friend. Who snitched on you? She like, oh, Janisha, like, how do we have this audio? She like, oh, that was a friend. Me and her like fell out. You feel me? Like, I don't really too much mess with her, but like this being happy, like, I don't know why this being talked about. Janisha, like, so you weren't going to set up Jocelyn? Like, you weren't going to set her up? And I'm like, what? Wait. Janisha, I know you and Jocelyn is friends and all, but how does this give she try to set up Jocelyn? Like, you would have thought Sky was on the phone, like, yeah, we're going to get that bitch. She going to be in LA for the LA show. We're going to have two hood hoes from Toledo pop out. Like, she didn't say all that. Like, what? She was just trying to get out her contract. And I don't even like Sky, because is a very much a homophobe. So I'm like, you're gay. She, bitch, man, you feel me? So it's like, not too much. Like, a setup, that's a little far, Janisha. You know what I'm saying? That's a little extreme, I think. So they start to ask Dre, they like, oh, like, so let's ask you, Dre, like, you wanted to go back to school and all that. And she started yelling because she said she told Scott, which y'all know I cannot stand when some of these girls yells. There's a couple of girls on Zeus when they start to yelling, my ears get to ringing. Tavy, Drea, Danny, what else? It's a few of them, okay? That when they get to screaming, girl, I get to running. They shade. Okay, I get to running. Like, right? So she was basically saying, like, you should have told her straight up. But my whole thing is this. I don't 100% agree with that. She could have told her straight up. Don't get me wrong. I do think she was stupid for venting to a friend that shouldn't be trusted, because you kind of have to know who to vent to. Like me, I've become a master at that. Like, I know who to tell certain things to. on based off of trust level. Like, I'll never vent to somebody I don't really know like that about family issues and nothing like that. Or like, I never would vent to somebody about personal issues that I just met like that type. You get what I'm saying? So it's like you kind of have to know who to talk to about certain stuff, right? I'm a big believer in there's certain friends for certain stuff. So I think she was wrong with that. But if she had went to Jocelyn, how do we know that the same thing that happened to Dre wouldn't have happened to Sky? Because Drea said, I want to finish school and all that. And Jocelyn said, get out. Get out. You stupid hoe. Like, she hit her with one of those. So it's like, how do we know that same thing was going to happen? And then the cameras weren't going to be there. So God knows what would have happened. You know what I'm saying? She could have ended up getting stalked up out, and then we would have never heard of Sky no more. Sky would have ended up being ground. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we got to keep that in mind. But she was wrong for, like, I guess, trying to do it like the legal way. Maybe she could have called Jocelyn just out of safety, so that way she doesn't get hurt. Okay, because I don't think in person it would have went too well. Or maybe talk to Melissa. Okay, I think that would have been another good option. Child, at this point, Jocelyn tries to go back on stage, and they're telling Sky to get off. So she like, get this hoe out my stage. Yeah, get her out the building. Get her out of the building. Ballistic, get her out of the building. Why you call it ballistic for? Last time ballistic got called, Amber gave a lawsuit. So you might not want to do that, Jocelyn. You might want to leave that be instead of calling ballistic, okay? Because things turn real shisty when ballistic gets called. Okay. Sky standing over there like a little boy. She like, man, it's Toledo. She said, take that hoe back to Toledo. Take that bitch back to Toledo. Take that bitch back to Tolulu, okay? Jocelyn mispronouncing it, everything. She like, it's Toledo, Ohio. Yeah, okay? So she popping her stuff or whatever. They end up bringing her back. Next thing you know, Jocelyn disappears. This is when like the taser stuff started really going around, y'all. Like, it was so much edited out. I don't think y'all understand. They did a great job. It took them a month. It took them a good month to edit it, but they did a great job with the edit. Shout out to the edit. Blame it on the edit. So, Sky's sitting there. Next thing you know, Danny, what's up? This why, like, I'm sorry, y'all. I can't hate Danny. Danny said she started to run it up. She scurrying over there. She like hop over there and start to fight the girls or whatever. And ends up like trampling over a little bit. Like it was kind of like she missed her mark. You know what I'm saying? She missed her mark. She missed her mark and ended up kind of like falling over. And then she ends up getting hit by like Sky. Sky kind of grabs her neck, doesn't really get her. And then Sky ends up fighting Oceans. Oceans, what was that? Oceans ended on her back. And Sky hit her back. You know what I'm saying? Sky versus Oceans. I mean, like, what a concept. Like, damn. So we get to the audience questions, which by the way, Shy had a fan. Is it that hot in that studio? Damn. The girls in the comments will say you do powder donuts, allegedly. That's what the girls and stuff was saying. Cause the way that he had that fan up like Santana, I was sort of like, damn, it must have been hot in that studio. So the first girl was telling Danny, she like, oh, for what you did, more y'all starting to lose y'all morals, y'all serve no purpose or whatever on the show. I feel like this. To me, Danny and Drea can be seen as lapdogs. They are sort of like Jocelyn's lapdogs. But if we're going to talk about morality, none of the cast really has morals, except for maybe Kanaya and maybe one or two others. Let's really be honest, because Jocelyn talks to all of them crazy. Y'all forgot that episode where she basically said, y'all hoes don't own no businesses, y'all hoes don't own no perpetuity, y'all hoes don't own no land, y'all hoes don't hold no rent, y'all girls don't even pay y'all rent. Like, y'all remember when she said all that? None of the girls spoke up last time I checked. So if we want to talk about morality, let's address it to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just not them two. It's a couple more others. They shade. All right. So they wasn't really answering that. The next audience member called out Dez and Erica for hating on Kanaya. So Dez gives this piss poor explanation, which to me, she kind of put even more of a foot in her mouth. And you talking about crunchy, look at your bangs. Them was some banged up bangs. Like, oh my God. Like, you talking about crunchy. Those were wavy. What kind of wavy bangs were those? I don't know if Des was fighting or what, but like those bangs were crazy. So she's like, oh, I think you're a beautiful woman. I don't think that I'm not racist or anything. I feel like, I was talking about your sewing because everything you're sewing did a good job. And I was saying your hair fucking crunchy because this was a good sewing. I'm like, what? It just, you might as well have just said, I didn't mean what I said by that. I don't think that was right. Okay. And this is where a lot of what happens on Baddies, the whole N-word thing and all that situation, it goes a lot deeper. And my whole thing is this with Des. You could have had an issue with Kanaya and you not like her, boom, right? When she said the crunchy wig situation, crunchy hair situation, that's where we kind of saw the real reason. It's because she's black. It's because she's black. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where it kind of was like, okay, now we can see why you have so much vitriol towards her. Had you not said that, it would have been like, okay, like, you just don't like her, you don't like her. We could have went with that. But you said that crunchy wig, over. Now we know the real reason. Shout out to the editors on Zeus lately. They've been clocking tea. Well, I guess they hired some new editors that actually keep receipts in in the vault. Thank ya. Okay, because Kanai was defending herself and she was telling Erica like and Des, y'all don't really stand on business or whatever. Here go Des. Oh, I wasn't the one that scratched your face. I don't know how it's in 4K of you doing it. So please stop. Like, just tell the truth at this point. We already see you act like we haven't seen the show. So she basically calls out Erica like, I talked about you on the bus, but I also said it to your face. Which they played the flashback. She called her weird to her face. So Erica, what do you have to say for yourself? We need an answer. Then they start getting on this whole situation with T Love. And Kanaya straight up just was like, oh, T Love be lying. T Love said, I be lying. Oh, wait. Sky be lying? Dre, wait, I be lying? I be lying? If you gotta ask somebody if you be lying, you be lying. Am I the only one? Like, you should be so strong in your belief that you don't lie, that you don't need nobody to vouch for you. You don't need a whole group of people to vouch for you. But like when you always need a group of people to vouch for you and you're not going to prove how you don't be lying with just your receipts, 9 times out of 10 you be lying. You know what I'm saying? So they call her out about that. And then we get to Lexi versus Kanaya. Now I've had both of their lives on my channel when they both fell out. Well, not when they both fell out, but when they started talking about their fallout. Apparently, Lexi said Kanaya texted her and said, our values don't align. I don't want to be friends with you. Da, da, da. I did find that kind of weird because I found that a little bit like television produced, the way that she texted her. But I think the reason and what Kanaya's trying to say is because she felt like Lexi was being her friend on the show out of like a beneficial reason. Like she knew, I guess, Kanaya was going to be like the odd man out to us viewers, and she was just having her back just for the show purposes. But in real life, as they were together, she was not feeling her. She didn't think she was a real friend. I get that 100% because it's one thing to film a show with somebody and think y'all friends, but it's a whole other thing to film, to be with somebody outside of cameras and stuff, and you don't feel like y'all friends like that, or like the energy is not the same. Because apparently Chink said on my interview that like Lexi's a bitch. Apparently, she is a bitch. She gonna call me a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like apparently she's a bitch. That's what Chinks them said, and Chinks worked with her, so she told me that like she be a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like she just, she's just not a girl's girl, and all of those things. Now their friendship breakup, it did make me sad because from what I saw with them on tour and everything, they were Cookie Crunch girlfriends. Like they were always like side to side, having each other back, whoopty whoopty whoop. So to see them kind of like veer off like that, I was sort of like, damn girl, like y'all was like tight as a clam's ass. Even on the tour, it was them two versus everybody else. They even had a separate sprinter to go to shows and stuff because they wasn't getting on with everybody else, except for like Jane Doe, I think. So yeah. So then they invite Ricardo on stage. Ricardo shocked me. I didn't think he was such a mean girl. Like he's really a mean girl. I said, oh my God. Like what he said to Hogan was kind of out of line. Like we get she left and she served no purpose on the show. But the fact that he was like, oh, this the first time we hear her speak. I'm like, damn, bitch. Like what you expect her to do? Hop into situations that she has nothing to do with? I'm just saying this wasn't the show for Hogan though. I'm glad that he gave Danny her props. Danny's not that bad of a person, y'all. I'm telling y'all, she's really not. She just is crazy. Like she really is crazy, y'all. Like in real life, all that stuff y'all be seeing on the show, that's not fake. Like that, she really like that. But I feel like she gets a bad rap because she's so loyal to Johnson. Like she willing to die by the sword. So it's like she gets a bad rap because of that. He gave her props also to Lexi, and then also called out Chinks for being late all the time. Apparently, once again, check out my interview. Chinks said that the reason why she was late is because production would tell her to come out at a certain time, and she would come out late because the time that she was told to come out was not the time that everybody else was out. So once again, we gonna blame you, Miss Washington. Sorry. I'm just saying. So she started getting into it with Ricardo. Ricardo was like, man, the lies you tell, you always late, like you always late or whatever. You always late. And then he ends up getting into it with Kanaya. Now, Kanaya matched that energy. Kanaya was like, you basically change up the formation and stuff like that. I never said like, no, I'm not gonna be in that place. I never said it like that. But he was like, you still said it though. Kanaya matched that energy straight away. And I wasn't mad at her for that because Ricardo to me came out on one. And I really feel like he did that on behalf of Joseline, if we're gonna be honest. And that kind of ended the reunion. Let me know what y'all think down below. Make sure y'all stay tuned for more videos. And we are baby.